Hey guys, Martin here. This is the final We're Still Here of November. So I'm looking forward to the holiday season. I guess we're in the holiday season right now. It's difficult because having lived in England, like Thanksgiving was never really a thing at all, and Halloween we never. I mean, up until recently, as far as I'm aware, it was never something we really celebrated. It was just a day, It was the time of year when horror films would come on the TV more often, as far as my household was concerned. So I never really considered it the holidays until December because of Christmas and everything. And Christmas, I'm a huge fan of. I guess we're in the holiday season, and it's a very reflective time and a very introspective time. So don't be surprised if some of these video blog things get a bit, I don't know. Considering all the other ones I've done, it would be weird for me to say, be prepared for more emotions to get thrown around because, it's been an emotional journey already as is. But prepare for that. So this one, not so much. This one, I'm not. I tried recording a We're Still Here for this week a few days ago, and I had to stop myself because I realized I was talking a lot about me, and I know these are my videos, but at the end of the day, I'm not doing them just for me. In fact, if anything, I'm doing them for us, more than anything. And I don't want to make it very Martin-centric. I don't want to make it feel like it's my specific experience, because it's not. This is something we're all going through, or at least I'm sure some of you are. Most of you who are watching these are. But I didn't like it. It felt very selfish and a bit egocentric, so I stopped myself, because that's the last thing I want to do, is just make it so it's impossible for you to understand the situation I'm going through and make it difficult to identify with it and empathize with it. So instead, I'm going to just do this. I decided to just start filming and talk a little bit about how you deserve some time for yourself, and how you if you're working too hard, then maybe take a moment to think about everything you've achieved. In fact, you know what? I'm just gonna lead into it and say this is the part where I talk about that. I'm not very good at appreciating myself, if that makes any sense. I'm not very good at acknowledging my own worth. And I've talked a lot with my therapist about this, and I've talked with my wife about this. And I'm sure it's something a lot of my real life friends are aware of. I just don't think that I have much going on in general. I don't think that I'm worth certainly the attention that, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged has garnered over the years. I don't even think that's me. I think that's just the Yu-Gi-Oh! Thing. I don't really think, I'm popular because I'm a cool guy. I'm just popular because I happened to be there at the right time, So it's difficult for me when I'm in like a depressed state, or if I'm having, a lot of self-doubt in general, even if, when I wasn't depressed, it's hard for me to take a step away from that. I don't want to say a step back, because, while step back in this case just means, look at it from a different angle. Step back often in my head associates with, going back a step. Literally, like just literally switching to reverse and moving in the opposite direction to where you've been going. And that's not what this is. If you take a step back and just take a moment for yourself to appreciate all the hard work that you've done, the amount of work that it takes to be stable, in my opinion, is it's a lot. It's a lot. It's almost astronomical at this point, in my opinion. I don't think that we give each other enough credit for the amount of effort it takes to try and live and be okay. The fact that I'm even making these videos is something that I'm sure, I don't think about. I just don't think about it. And that's an example that you could apply to yourself, I guess. Like, if you're working on something to better yourself, or to better the world around you, or to better just just make things better, then that's a big deal. In the situation that we're in the fight that we're in against depression and anxiety and, just a general downness, in that situation, it's very easy to think of yourself as worthless and as not actually achieving anything, or even, it's very easy to think of yourself as a waste. And you need to take the time to look at what you've done, no matter how small it might seem to you, and know that ultimately the small things we do from day to day to get by and to keep going, just to keep the fire stoked and to keep breath in our lungs and to keep on fighting against the current, it feels like sometimes. The amount of work we do to keep that up is worthy of acknowledgement. I don't know if... I'm going to be honest, every so often I do one of these where I'm just sort of rambling, and I apologize, because I really want to be able to say things that make sense and that you understand and that will convey how I feel. And I'm getting all upset because I feel like I'm letting you down. I just think that you deserve to acknowledge yourself and to know that what you're doing matters. It matters to me a great deal. I may not be able to see it or be directly affected by it, but it means the world to me to know that you're trying. And sometimes trying, it doesn't matter if you succeed or fail, but the fact that you're trying means that you have the will to do that. And that means a lot. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise, because there are people who would tell you that, intent is irrelevant. And in some situations, yeah, but if you intend to live, and if you intend to be a good person, if you intend to try and help people, if you intend to try and help yourself, that's something to be a little bit proud of. It's something to, you just take time and just take an hour of your day and have that for yourself. You don't think about that. I don't think about that. There are times when I'm just feeling overworked and I'm like, I want to take a break, but I don't think about taking time for me. I just think about taking time to acknowledge nothing and do nothing and switch myself off. But you need to take time to let yourself know, and to let your mind and your feelings and your heart know that, this is all good, what you're doing. You're doing a good job, and you deserve to be happy. Because if you don't feel like that, what's the point? That's not what I mean. If you don't feel that way, it makes it harder. It makes it much harder. If you don't take the time to not necessarily reward. I mean, rewarding yourself is good too, but I don't ever feel like I deserve a reward. But if you don't take the time to just acknowledge the good, the part of you that is fighting, because if you're watching this, you are fighting. Even passively, you are trying. You're reaching out indirectly, and you should acknowledge that, and you should know that that's a huge strength you've got. That's just there. It's part of you. And I apologize if this video doesn't make much sense or isn't very helpful. But I think I don't know if I can take some time for myself today because I've got too much work to get done. But I just wanted to talk to you about that. I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't know if anything I'm saying makes sense or is registering. And I guess me sounding helpless like that isn't helping either. But I'm going to try and I might take tomorrow and just have a day for myself. And you should too. You should take one day of this week and just set it aside for you, Just set it aside and just take some time to acknowledge how far you've come. And even if you're not in a good place, you might be in a better place. And even if you're in a worse place, if you're here listening to me, then there's still hope for you. And there's still hope for you even if you can't hear my words, because I believe in you. I'm sorry for getting so upset. I didn't know I was going to. Oh, this isn't a good video. But I do mean what I say. I feel proud of where I am. I feel proud of the things that I've done to try and get better. And I'm proud of you, and I think you should be proud of you too. And it's hard to be proud of yourself. And people often make you feel ashamed for doing that, but you shouldn't be. Not in this situation. You deserve to have as many pats on the back, and you deserve to pat yourself on the back. Because I'm bloody proud of you. And you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And it may not seem like that. But everyone wants it. Everyone wants you to be okay. And you should want that too. So take 5 minutes. Even if you can't take a whole day, take 5 minutes to just remind yourself that you are worth this fight and you are worth winning it. Just take some time for yourself, please.